Hey, it's Noah at The Creative Startup. Today we're going to talk about managing and knowing your own abilities. I'm going to read you just a little excerpt from this book, Managing Oneself by Peter Drucker, a big business and government consultant for organizing people. Most people think they know what they're good at. They're usually wrong. More often, people know what they're not good at. And even then, more people are wrong than right. And yet a person can only perform from strength. One cannot build performance on weakness, let alone on something one cannot do at all. Let me read that again. A person can perform only from strength. One cannot build performance on weaknesses, let alone on something one cannot do at all. This guy's saying you can't build upon your weakness. You have to build on your strength. That's the only way you do something truly revolutionary. That's the only way you truly change the world. It's not by, I'm not a very good people person, so I'm going to face my fears and take a speech class. Like, that might be worth doing, but that's not going to make me the best speaker in the world. It might just help me get by with a functional ability in speaking. However, a lot of us aren't even starting from a point of knowing ourselves well enough to say what we're good at. I know personally there's been several instances where I've had to confront myself, what I'm good at, what I'm bad at, and have to be brutally honest. And that can be hard for me because I tend to be like an overconfident person, and so I'm gonna say yes to anything. Are you able to do this? Yes, I'll figure it out. And oftentimes I'll get myself in and I'll do it. I'll complete a task. I'll perform at a level that I'm happy with, but it wears me out. And that is not the type of thing that you're going to capitalize on. You don't want to capitalize on things that just drain you and make you feel finished and out of energy. Because in that case, aren't you just better off working at McDonald's? They pay a steady wage and you can get health benefits and all this stuff. But if you want to do something great, you have to capitalize on strengths. So in this book, he offers some really, really good steps for finding these strengths, figuring out what it is that you're truly good at, and capitalizing on that. The only way to discover your strength is through feedback analysis. Whenever you make a key decision or take a key action, write down what you expect will happen. 9 or 12 months later, compare the actual results with your expectations. I've been practicing this method for 15 to 20 years now, and every time I do it, I'm surprised. The feedback analysis showed me, for instance, and to my great surprise, that I have an intuitive understanding of technical people. Whether they are engineers or accountants or market researchers, it shows me that I don't really resonate with generalists. That's a key revelation for him. Knowing that I relate with these people, I understand these people, I don't understand these people. That tactic of writing down what you think is going to happen, what you predict is going to happen, and seeing what of that comes true. See, I make decisions all the time, and I've been practicing this for a while now. Like with this YouTube channel, I wrote down what I hope will happen, what I expect to happen. I write down how I expect to perform. And then I look back and say, oh yeah, I did do that, but that kind of fell off. That kind of just stopped happening. I kind of quit on that thing. I'm really good at keeping this up, but this has kind of fallen to the wayside. So writing that down and clarifying your expectations for yourself can really show you what you live up to and what you don't. He goes on to say, several implications for action follow from feedback analysis. First and foremost, concentrate on your strengths. Put yourself where your strengths can produce results. Second, work on improving your strengths. Always, analysis will rapidly show where you need to improve skills or acquire new ones. It will also show you where the gaps in your knowledge, and those can usually be filled. Mathematicians are born, but everyone can learn trigonometry. So this concept of find those weaknesses in your strengths, right? I'm a really good people person. I'm good in front of the camera, but maybe I talk too much about myself. Or maybe when I'm tired, I fumble over my words. Or maybe I'm not putting out interesting content, right? So I can focus on the strength of, yes, I'm good in front of the camera sometimes, and I can think of things on the spot, and I can talk, and it's not hard for me. It's not hard for me to talk to people at parties or meet new people. But one of my weaknesses in that strength is maybe I'll talk too much about myself. One of my weaknesses in that strength is maybe I won't have enough compelling things to say to the camera. And so I can take that strength and take that weakness and say, okay, the strength is people, the weakness is subject. And I can improve my subject. I can bring other people on board. I can seek out new knowledge and new ideas to capitalize so that my strength just gets stronger. Right? But if I see that my strength is people and my weakness is math, right? I mean, I really like math. I'm interested in it, but I'm not great at it. So maybe math is my weakness. For me to go and take 5 math courses this semester would be a waste of time. Because no matter what I do, I'm not going to be the next physicist, Albert Einstein. Right? I'm not going to be that. I can't do that. My brain doesn't work that way. I can figure people out pretty well. I can relate to people. But numbers aren't my thing. So find the weakness in your strength and capitalize on improving that. Third, discover where your intellectual arrogance is causing disabling ignorance and overcome it. Far too many people, especially people with great expertise in one area, are contemptuous of knowledge in other areas, or believe that being right is a substitute for knowledge. First-rate engineers, for instance, tend to take pride in not knowing anything about people. Human beings, they believe, are far too disorderly for a good engineering mind. Human resources professionals, in contrast, often pride themselves in their ignorance of elementary accounting or quantitative methods altogether. But taking pride in such ignorance is self-defeating. Go to work on acquiring the skills and knowledge you need to fully realize your strengths. Right? I had a previous video about this, and I'm going to post that down below, but this arrogance that we get about what we don't know is also can be incredibly destructive, right? So if you're an engineer and people skills might seem super foreign to you, I'm not saying you should go take a speech class, you should go, get a human resources degree, you should put all your eggs in that basket. You should keep being an engineer, right? Because that's what you're good at. That's how your brain works. Just like I shouldn't be an engineer. But you do have to fix those weak spots. Maybe my weakness is in just like abstract art, right? When I talk to like really abstract artists, I just don't understand where they're coming from. So I could take pride and say, no, I have kind of a little bit more analytical, people-oriented brain. So I like to categorize things and understand things that way. You're more abstract, but I'm proud of who I am in my quantitative type brain. But the truth is, it's going to go better for me in life. It's going to go better for me in my career as a manager, as an artist, as a producer, if I can understand these abstract ways of thinking. If I can understand what these people are truly saying. And maybe that will take some translation into means and ideas that I can actually break down in the way that I think. But however I go about understanding them, it's important for me to understand them. It's not important for me to become an abstract artist, but at least to understand where they're coming from. If you guys want to pick this book up, it's called Managing Oneself by Peter F. Drucker, Drucker, by the Harvard Business Review. Great book. It's not very long at all. I think it's like it's 60 pages and it's printed like huge. It literally took me like a day to read through this. It's like a long article. Great book. You will not regret it. A lot of wisdom in here. I'll put a link down below for you to click through and buy it. Again, this is Noah Hoven with The Creative Startup. Hope this is helpful. Please click subscribe below if you guys found value in this. Thank you very much.